Almost 1 million jobs just vanishing into thin air.
Say what? They forged the number of jobs that they claimed that they created because those jobs never really existed? Who would have thought? No way they would do something like that. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are all doing well. I am Ty Smith, and you're watching my channel, Modern Renaissance Man. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day or your evening to view my content. If you do enjoy the content, make sure you I told you I'm not going to edit this. It's a blooper. Make sure you follow me on the platforms you see above and below, and clicking that right there will allow my video to be consideredly responsible for you seeing more of my content. I'm off like crazy, y'all. I got so much going through my hair right now because I blew it. I'm not going to edit it. But clicking the thumbs up will allow my content to consistently be recommended to you. And also, double check to make sure that you still are subscribed to the channel, all right? Yeah, I'm starting to have a little bit of that Kamalitis, Bidenitis, encephalopathy going on right now. So it's affecting me. It's affecting me. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, we all knew that there was a lot of schemish stuff that was going on. We heard at the DNC that they were recreated so many jobs. We created the most jobs in history. And Donald Trump with the idea that he can come in with the idea and Trump, and he's a sucker.
We created so many jobs that whenever we bring in jobs that spell J-O-B, not like Job, which get confused, like I'm going to confuse you with my word salad, because jobs are places that you work. And where you work is where you go. And where you go is where you drive. And when you drive there, technically you're here. Because there and here are the same, except one has the letter T.
Womp womp. Anyway, apparently those so-called numbers, almost 1 million jobs, never existed. Check it out.
Kamalanomics dealt its first major blow after a stunning revision in the jobs market this morning. Almost 1 million jobs just vanishing into thin air. The Bureau of Labor Statistics is downgrading the total number of jobs created between April 2023 through March of this year by 818,000. I had to go back to elementary school to figure out how to say that. Making it the largest downward employment revision in 15 years. And it's not a headline that Vice President Harris wants as she campaigns and takes credit for the good parts of the economy.
By virtually every measure, our economy is the strongest in the world. We have created 16 million new jobs.
And Donald Trump wasting no time to hammer Harris over the revised numbers.
Harris-Biden administration has been caught fraudulently manipulating job statistics to hide the true extent of the economic ruin that they've inflicted on America. With an extra, listen to this one, 818,000 jobs that don't exist. So they said they existed, and they never did exist. They built them up so that they could say what a wonderful job they're doing.
Greg, I think one of the least persuasive things I've heard on the economy lately has, and they've said it for a while, but increasingly this week, is that, well, the American economy is better than the rest of the world. So everyone, you should just be happy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to me to be working, persuading people.
It's basically saying, like, too bad. What are you going to do, leave? Right? You're stuck here. I think, for the Democrats, ignorance isn't just bliss, it's votes. Hence the tax on unrealized gains, which Kamala is pushing, under the assumption that nobody knows what an unrealized gain means. So this is time for Greg's Economic Corner. I want everybody to grab their kids, pull them around the TV. Gains occur when an asset rises. Let's say you have a prized collection of baseball cards, and they go up in price. A loss is when the price goes down since you paid. An unrealized gain is the value of the investment before you sell it. So a tax on unrealized gains is taxing money you don't have. and it goes right to the government. So to sell a corrupt, immoral idea, you got to call it something else. So you call it, instead of theft, it's unrealized gains. It's like saying an illegal is a newcomer. So an unrealized gain is the house that your parents live in. You know, the one that they hoped would gain in value. Well, if it does gain in value, 25 to 50% of that increase goes to the IRS every year. And they don't even sell the house, which means the money actually comes out of their pocket. How is that not theft? And they're going to say, but we're only to do this to really rich people. But as you know, sooner or later, we run out of really rich people. Then it's rich people. Then it's not so rich people. Then it's poor people. Then you have, as Elon Musk said, really bad shoes.
Yes, he did. Jesse, I think another unpersuasive thing is when the Biden-Harris team, Harris-Walz team is now saying, but Biden created all these jobs. And when you point out that all the jobs were starting to come back under Trump, but the jobs were shut down because of COVID, they actually are trying to suggest that Joe Biden wouldn't have shut down the economy and that none of the jobs would have been lost. And I find that just really hard to believe.
Now, the border, the jobs, the crime numbers, they're all mirage. Donald Trump came in, third quarter GDP was at 35%. That's a record. Fourth quarter GDP 2020, 4.2%. He handed Joe Biden a growing economy. All of the Biden jobs are bounce back jobs from COVID. And then 40% of the jobs under Joe Biden have been from foreign-born workers, AKA illegals. Now, Greg is right. What they want to do is they want to tax wealth. It's a wealth tax. This is what Liz Warren wants. Kamala is like Liz Warren, but she's actually Indian. Okay? The people say this is like a conspiracy that the government would like somehow juice the jobs numbers in an election year to help the Democrat. Okay, so when Trump wins and he investigates it, they're going to call that a revenge tour. This is what's happening here. You now need to make $120,000 a year to live a $100,000 a year lifestyle. $20,000 in purchasing power is gone because of Joe Biden. Median household income under Donald Trump, $78,000. Under Biden-Harris, $76,000. It's gone. They're just taking the money away. Now she wants to raise taxes and spend $3 trillion and cap prices like a communist. Yeah. But don't call her comrade. That's mean. You don't want to call people names.
Jessica, the economy is the issue, aside from abortion, which I think that's, if you're voting on abortion, you're voting on abortion. But the economy is the one that can move voters either way. And this is not great timing for Kamala Harris, who is trying to do this rollout. She'll have a great speech tomorrow night, no doubt. But Friday, everything gets harder.
Yeah, it's going to get harder, and we'll have to see what kind of candidate she's going to be after this initial period. Get through the convention. She's going to do long-form interviews. We're going to have a debate. Hopefully, we'll have multiple debates and one on our network, which I think would be fantastic. But this is not the headline that you want on day 3 of your convention that has been going really well. Donald Trump immediately jumping to conspiracy theories about how this happened, though, is a little rich. In August of 2019, the height of COVID, Donald Trump's own administration got an extra 501,000 jobs magically out of thin air that had to be revised down. So if you think that what Kamala or what Joe Biden did was fraudulent, then you think what Donald Trump did was fraudulent.
How much were they revised down?
Oh, you're going with that? So
no, how much were they revised down?
They were fake jobs. Sorry, he's sitting next to me.
Can I go?
They don't exist. One thing, though, that could be a silver lining for all of this for Kamala Harris is that this is going to signal that there is going to be a rate cut coming. And our impressions of the economy are pretty much baked in. She's cut into Trump's lead a little bit, but people are probably on Election Day going to think that he's still better for the economy. We know that. If there is a rate cut, people will experience that, and they may associate that then with the Biden-Harris administration, and then hopefully for Harris-Walz on November 5th.
Judge, the way things are going, I imagine that you could even have Harris say that she's going to extend the Trump tax cuts in 2017 in order to help the economy.
Well, sure. But let's be clear about something. There are 818,000 jobs that vanished that Biden-Harris said they had added to the economy. And let's be clear about it. That is the largest revision to a job report in 15 years. It's never been, there's never been a claim like that. But it seems that, you know, the Democrats are okay if they change change the facts because nobody fact checks them. It's just like 2 nights ago when Joe Biden is repeating all the lies of the Fine People hoax and the bloodbath and praising the Palestinian people and the idea of injecting bleach to people who had COVID. All of that has been debunked, but nobody says anything about it. The media doesn't hold the Democrats for the lies, for the straight out lies and the misinformation. But let's be clear, the impact on the market is very clear because companies rely on these numbers in order to hire and in order to decide what they have to make for the consumer. And, you know, it just doesn't fit. And the lack of policy that these Democrats are promoting and stating is shocking. And I heard, Dana, on your show today on America's Newsroom, Governor Polis from Colorado?
Yep.
He says, you know, they've got all of these policies about the economy and this and that. And Bill Hemmer says, well, where did you get that from? We haven't seen it. And Polis pretty much doesn't tell the truth and says, oh, it's on our website. And Bill Hemmer says, I've been on the website. I didn't see it. But here's the thing. What has changed in this country is this. 20 years ago, if you were 19 points ahead on the border, 6 on the economy, 7 on foreign policy, and 5 on crime, that's the end of it. But today, it is there is a different paradigm. You got to feel unity and joy. They don't care if there's a policy or if you lie straight up. All they care about is feeling good. And that's what scares me about this whole thing.
Yeah, and you like how Trump called that out too, huh? But you know what? Nobody's going to say anything because you know what you do? A lot of people, look, I told y'all day and night, I don't care. If Trump does something, I will call it out. Just like Trump said, if he wins, he's going to hold a lot of people accountable. If he don't, I'm going to call him out on that. Rest assured I am when that time comes. What I'm saying all that for is, right now, Trump, as you guys just saw, called out that they just made those things up. Now, here's going to be the kicker here, though. Some of you that have like this strange Stockholm syndrome-like type feel to your abusers, you don't even care. They falsified this as if they had almost 1 million jobs that never existed, and you guys will go, well, at least they didn't say grab them by the pee. Well, at least they never called Rosie O'Donnell fat. Well, at least they weren't married 3 times. Oh, well, at least they didn't try to. It's amazing that y'all do that. And that's when I tell you my daddy instincts kick in, because I love it when people try to deflect, derail, or distract away from being disciplined. I'm going to hone in on it. I bite so hard whenever you try to do that. I love it when folks try to, no, we talking about you right now. I know, but it's still, now you're not going to be a victim. What you're going to do is feel bad about what you did, and you're going to be disciplined for it. And then it's going to make it even worse because the fact that you tried to take the attention off of you, and when that didn't work, then you tried to turn yourself into a victim, and that didn't work. So you know what you're going to be? Held accountable. You always say these words, and we always hear people say things like, we need to hold our politicians and hold our leaders accountable. Well, guess what? Those of you on the left, you got a chance to hold your leaders accountable for falsifying these numbers. What are y'all going to say? Nothing. Y'all going to say something about Trump. Like we already know, they mentioned Trump over 127 times already. They mentioned, the border, maybe 8. They mentioned illegal immigration, maybe 7 times, right? You know what I'm saying? They mentioned what happened as far as crime go, maybe once. But Trump name comes up 100 and some times. You want to know why? Because it gets put up in your subconscious. Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump is the reason. Trump fault, Trump bad, illegal immigrant, Trump bad, Trump fault. He did this, Trump did that. We can't let him win. He's a threat against our democracy. I got to go there. Bidenized encephalopathy again. He's a threat against our democracy. I know I need to slow down. I'm sorry, it's a Jamaican in me. I'm sorry. Trump is a threat against our democracy. If he gets in, he's going to be a dictator. Well, legal immigrants, they didn't kill that many people. Anyway, Trump is the greatest threat to our democracy. He's going to make sure that only his friends get the best tax breaks. Trump, that's what they do. They hound it in so much that what you guys are going to take away from it is what? Trump bad. We can't let him win. This is going to be the overall message you're going to pick up. It's going to be the overall driving force. We don't care what goes on with this country. We don't care how many of our sons and daughters they rape. We don't care how many people burglarize our home. We don't care how many of these illegals beat up our police. We can't let Trump win. Bunch of idiots. Anyway, let me know what y'all think by putting it in the comments below. Don't forget to do that right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you, whether you're on the left or the right, have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, may pray every last one of you guys are in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.